Hello there. So today I want to make a claim that I think more people should be making. A lot of people are making claims about racism happening, and we all know there's racism. And I think that if we want to sort this out, let's sort out where the racism is, what the racism and what's going on, and actually express more. I think more people should come out expressing their experiences just throughout their lives. I'm a white guy, and I will say I've never experienced racism. I'm Jewish. I've never experienced anti-Semitism. These are two things I've never experienced. Not only have I never experienced it personally, I've never witnessed it, and I've never met anyone who actually would judge a black person just because they're black in a negative way. I've heard people joke about it the same way I've heard people make about Jews and joke about Asians and joke about other people, but they're not racist. They're innocent jokes. As far as I'm concerned, I think that's a thing that you can just say innocent jokes about other people based on things going on, and it's not really because of their race or that you're a racist or anything like that. This is some, I don't know, maybe it's a crazy kooky thing that I believe in. I don't know, but this is my experiences. I would say I never met a racist. Okay, I'm not a racist, and I've never met a racist. My experience is growing up. I grew up playing in the park. All sorts of kids I've met my whole life. Blacks, Hispanics, Asians, whatever. We mingled with each other. We befriended each other. We hung out all the time. We traded cards. We did whatever we did, and there was never a problem. Even as a teenager, I was a teenager hanging out with people, Jewish, not Jewish, black, Hispanic, whatever. It didn't matter. We got along, and it was fine. Play basketball with them. It was whatever. And it was a known thing through all of us as well. You know, there's areas that you don't want to go to that could be dangerous late at night that happen to be prominently black neighborhoods. And it wasn't like considered a racist thing to believe that. It's just these people are thugs and they're gangsters. They were viewed as just people who were just wanting to be this way. They were people who pride themselves in like wanting to be a crip or something. It was join a gang or whatever it is. These people had this pride for such a thing, and it was gross and it was bad. And it just happens to be that a lot of these people were black, and I feel bad that this is the case. But that doesn't mean we have crazy racism going on. I also know people talk about the cops and the cops being unjust towards black over everyone else. It's I don't know that's the case. I know that through the majority of these neighborhoods that they're the projects or whatever it is, they're prominently black and they happen to have the highest crime rate. They happen to do more shootings. They happen to have whatever it is going on, and black people know this. It's not a thing black people don't know, and it's not a racial thing either. A lot of people would just I think there's a stigma out there to say like this like generally speaking people are not racist. I think that's a fair thing to say, and a lot of you might just say, well, that's just anecdotal, it's just your experience. Here's what I've learned from my experiences and my anecdotal evidence. It is anecdotal evidence, technically speaking, but at the end of the day, I find that my anecdotal experiences tend to line up with many people's experiences. I hear people's stories and I see things going on, and people I generally tend to meet my whole life, we generally tend to agree on all these things. I've actually had conversations with black people where they were telling me there's racism. Then when we're talking about sorting it out, they walked away saying it's all there, but they couldn't explain it. And I'm interested in knowing. I've looked at videos. I looked up videos. I want to see what are they talking about. I want to hear people's experiences. They're talking about experiences that I've experienced myself, and they're saying it's happening to them because they're black. But why is it happening to me then? Like this doesn't make any sense. They're talking about experiencing having to walk on the other side of the street because of racism. I've had to walk on the other side of the street because there's thugs who I have legitimate fear might actually mug me, and it's a little bit maybe 11, 12 o'clock at night, and there's no one around, so I try to just like walk away, hope they don't notice me or try anything with me. Um, you know, I went to the police precinct once because I was mugged, and they showed me a book, and the vast majority of the people in that book were black. Is it because the police are all racist and they're finding blacks, or is it possible there's these neighborhoods where there's prominently black people out there committing these crimes, and those people get caught, or they get their picture for whatever reason, and they're in that book? The assumption has to be either they're all racist, and that's what they're coming with, or it just happens to be for whatever reason that we have to figure out. These black people, as I've seen firsthand, tend to be more dangerous. They tend to. I've seen crimes happening. I've seen things going on. I'm not gonna say I've seen actual crimes happen. I've seen the people that would actually do things. I've seen people getting arrested who actually. I've seen people, thugs out there, actually hit other people and like try to do things to other people. I've seen dangerous things happening from these thugs who happen to be black. I don't judge black people to be dangerous people. In fact, I've always made the distinction that there's a difference between a thug and a black person, or a thug and anybody. I've always made that distinction. I've seen Hispanic people. If you walk over to me on the street, you're dressed regularly, you're black, you're Hispanic, you're whatever you are. It doesn't matter to me. It could be 3 in the morning. I see you're dressed decent. You're not walking in a suspicious way like a thug would. I don't see you as a threat. In fact, I've seen many black people 2, 3 in the morning walking out and about. They didn't seem like a threat to me whatsoever. But when I see the person dressed in the hoodie and the thug, and he's got the hood on, he seems suspicious to me. I'm gonna get fearful. I'm gonna start fearing, like, what are they gonna do to me? I'm gonna start thinking about this stuff. And I've seen it with Latino people. I've seen it with white people. I've seen it with Hispanic people. It didn't actually matter the person's race. And I think more of us have actually experienced that over an actual racial thing where it's like, oh well, the guy because he's black or something, we must think because of that that's the threat. I don't. If people thought that, it's because it just happens to be you're seeing more black people dressed as thugs. But I don't imagine you see some black guy walking around the street 3 in the morning in a suit and jacket and tie and all that stuff that you're going to be thinking this guy might be a threat. Okay, I don't think anyone's going to really believe that. I don't think so. I would actually stand behind that. So this claim I want to make that I've made is I've never experienced seeing racism or witnessing it or anything like that. And I think there's more of us that actually probably do that. And if not, and I'm just a minority, then let's all make this claim and see if we can sort that out and maybe figure out the racial problem if there actually is one like that, rather than just agreeing to this claim in general, like there's obviously racism and we're not going to do anything about it. Basically, there's just no systematic racism. This is the Republicans thing. There's no systematic racism, so therefore racism exists, but we've done all we can about it. Like that's crazy. If there's actual racism out there, it's not systematic or whatever, you still want to do something about it. That's an absurd thing to think, like there's racism going on, we're not going to do anything about it. That's heartless. That's crazy, and I don't think that's accurate at all. And I just think there's a stigma out there to be able to like say like an experience like mine, and like I think most people, I think there's more people out there that can actually, if they think about it, have never really experienced racism than not. It's just out there in the ether that this must be true, and I don't think it is. I'm sure it's true somewhere. Let's find it though. Let's be honest with this. Let's do some critical thinking. Let's do some honest like research and see what's going on. Find the racism. Call it the racism. I've seen people on the left who are racist. People on the left who are the ones who are claiming there's racism out there against white people. That's the only racism I'm seeing, is judging people on white skin color as white privilege, and how we gotta like stop them from stuff and put black people above them. That's racism I'm seeing in my life now. But for the rest of my life, nothing close to caring about skin color was ever a thing. Anyhow, that's all I got for that. All the best, and thanks for watching.